Hello, my friends. Happy Friday and welcome to the VML brought to you in association with NRG Gaming and sponsored by Wizards. Caroline, how are you doing? We're back in the booth. It's
I
season
know.
4.
Well, I'm actually really sad. You can tell by the
Wait,
giant
what?
smile on my face. I know, it's very confusing. I'm very sad because someone ordered me like not a crown, but a hat to show my 2-time victory, and it didn't arrive
Okay.
in time. It's like stuck somewhere.
No!
So I'm actually legitimately sad. I had this whole plan. It was a really cool hat. It says like 2-time champ on it. I think it's from
Oh
the
my
Golden State
goodness.
Warriors. And I had a whole plan, but it's currently in Chicago. I looked on the tracker. So,
Well, Chicago had better deliver your hat because I
I
want to see that
know.
on the screen. And I'm slightly disappointed you didn't just write 2-time champ across your forehead.
I
With
should
Sharpie.
have, or like on my crown or something. Because the first time back we did, like last season, I had the crown. Remember all the bobby pins?
Yeah. Oh my
I was
goodness.
relying on the
That
hat.
crown
Didn't
was
arrive.
essentially super glued
Well, I
onto your
couldn't.
head.
The new headset made it harder to wear a crown. So anyway, I am sad, but I really like the thing you snuck in there when you introed the stream. That was cool.
Yeah, let's talk
We
about
have
that
so
a
many
little
new
bit.
things like NRG.
Yeah.
That's new for me. I wasn't here last week.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
let's
and
talk about
Wizards.
energy. Let's talk about NRG series a little bit because they were very kind as to join us and become our DCI store, WPN store partner. And if you haven't checked out NRG Gaming before, they run a super cool online series called NRG Series. And they have a lot of events over different formats, right, Caroline? I think there's a
Yeah, they
format
have
for
live
everyone.
coverage too if you ever want to check it out. You might see other people there.
Yeah, maybe some VML casters are on there every so often. And we're really excited to be working with them. One of the best things that they did was lend us their staff judge, Judge Max Khan.
I was trying to think of some sort of joke, like it's like a Happy Meal, like you get the DCI store and it comes with like a judge. Like it just comes with a
Like the toy
Max.
is like a little figurine of Max,
Yeah.
and if you press the button, he goes like deckless late submission.
Yeah.
The game lost.
The DCI violation. Rule number 125.
Oh my goodness.
I really
All
hope
right,
Max
well,
is not in chat right now.
nobody tell Max that we're definitely not gonna get merch made of
Max
like
is the
little
best.
Judge Max figurines. And the other thing that we mentioned, of course, is that we are now sponsored by Wizards of the Coast. So thank you so much to all the folks at Wizards of the Coast for supporting not only the prize pool but the production team and just really being able to make the VML possible for both this season and going into future seasons. So that's on top of the awesome prizes that they helped us with, and by awesome prizes I mean, of course, the thing that everybody is fighting for, the invite to the Cowdhome Championships.
Everyone, including me.
Yeah, you're gonna have to like from Caroline's like grass.
Yeah, it's definitely in my sights. Though I will say, you have a pretty good start to this season. I haven't played my second match yet.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I'm currently 2-0, so I'm very excited. And I'm mostly excited because that puts me already at 1 win more than my entirety of season 3. So I'm like over the moon. That season was a complete wash for me. And I'm like, okay, restart. Gonna actually like put a lot of effort in this season, and I'm pretty pleased with how I'm doing. All right, well, Caroline, we have got 4 wonderful feature matches coming up this evening, so let's not waste everybody's time too much and get straight down into the meta game. And 18 copies of Gruel Adventures. This is actually slightly fewer copies than last week, I believe.
Yeah, I will say, just looking straight at this, it doesn't look very different to last week's. Like, the numbers are, swinging here and there. But one thing I noticed and I felt was that once you find a deck in this current standard, it's sort of just your home. Like, I would be interested to know the stats on who switched. like how many people switched, because most people I spoke to were just happy to just keep trekking on whatever deck they were playing the week before. I did the same. I didn't switch, so
I switched.
Yeah, definitely people did switch. But the sense I'm getting is it's so settled that if you just like adventures, Gruul adventures, you're likely just to keep playing it. That's kind of the feeling I got.
Yeah, and like Gruul, obviously, it puts up a lot of good performances in tournaments all around. As you say, the meta game hasn't changed a ton in the last couple of months, and we're looking forward to Cal time kind of shaking things up a bit in a couple of weeks.
I will say, at the bottom, very small writing where it says 19 other strategies. Last week, there was a 1 red-black core vault list, and now there's 3. So I'm just going to say you're welcome. And that's actually specifically to Hayu, because you're also playing red-black core vault this week.
I am playing red-black core vault this week. I took a little punt because my opponent was on Dimir Rogues last week. I was also on Dimir Rogues last week. And then this week, I thought, you know what? I hope I go red core board, and it worked out, so I'm pretty pleased. All right, let's dive straight into our first feature match of the evening. This is coming to you from Division number 6, and we have brought a kind of a unorthodox number of cards in her main deck, but it is Teamer Ramp. And sometime during the creation of these slides, we realized that she had put 63 cards in the main. We do not know why. And but here it is. Teamer Ramp with Obosh as the companion.
So I have to admit, I don't know why either, but I really enjoyed our conclusion, which was if you had more than 60 cards, you had to use the Yorion 95 card template. So it just has this huge dead space. Anyway, I really like the Teamer Ramp deck. It's just I really like spinning to win, but I feel like often my spins to win with the Genesis Ultimatums are lackluster, and I was getting frustrated. So I felt that I wanted to play something. I like the idea of the deck. It's really fun. It's like basically Omnath without Omnath, but there were times where you would flip those 5 lands and just be like, well, okay. Next.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I landed, but I think the fundamentals of the deck is really cool. Like, killing people with Terror of the Peaks is a very fun and enjoyable thing to do. So I'm excited to see this deck. I love watching it play. So I'm happy and ready.
No, I hear you, Caroline. Like sometimes, the Genesis Ultimatum just really gets there, and then sometimes it's a little sad. All right, well, let's see what Felipe's opponent brought and let's have a think about how this matchup's going to play out. Felipe is against Annabellius, who you defeated in the final of last season.
I did it. Annabellius was not playing these colors when I defeated her.
No, Annabellius on Dimir Rogues. And it's interesting because if you look at what she said when we asked her, what did you think your opponent would play this week? They said, I thought they would be on Teamer, which is a favorable matchup for Rogues. So Annabellius was actually one of the people that switched into Rogues, I believe.
Oh, some metagame action. I like it. Yeah. So I think that's true. I'm trying to recall back to I had a triangle. But yeah, basically I think Rogues beats Teamer, but loses to Gruul. I think that's how it works. And Gruul beats Teamer. But what does Teamer beat then?
Yeah, I'm not sure what Teamer beats.
Monogreen.
Monogreen? Okay.
Yeah. So it's maybe not a triangle as much as I thought it was.
It's some kind of shape. And if we have a look at this list, I think this is a pretty, standard build of along the veins of the Paolo PT list. Lurison as the companion, 3 copies of One Mind, the full Drown in the Lock, full 4 Ruin Crabs, and the such. And I played this list last week, and I looked into this list a lot, and this is essentially the exact same 75 that I played in week number 1.
Yeah, of One Mind. Sorry, you called it wrong. It's Ancestral Recall or something like that.
Oh,
at least that's what they called it during testing.
I mean,
It's
basically ancestral recall.
Basically, so close until you have
so
two crabs in play and you feel sad. You're just like, wait, hold on.
The worst is when you have two humans in play.
Oh,
I hate that.
Yeah.
You have like Soaring Thought Thief and Thieves Guild Enforcer, and you're like, wait, why are they both humans? This doesn't make sense.
You know what? It's really funny. Teamer, we're talking about the spin to win aspect, right? Ultimatum, which we're going to see some ultimatums, I'm sure. Rogues has a spin to win too. It's called Do You Draw Into the Story? So let's see if that happens. Who spins and who wins with their two powerful cards? One's a draw 4, one's a draw 5. They're basically the same.
They're basically the same. Yep. Let's head down to the action and see what happens in our first feature match. We think potentially Rogues favored in this matchup, but no matchup is ever going to be 100%. So let's look at the opening hands here. Yeah, the hand from Teamer. Both players going down to 6 here, looking for lands. I think Philippe has kept a nice one though. I saw a couple of adventure creatures along with Edgewall Innkeeper. As for Annabelius, Ruin Crab, Soaring Thought Thief of one mind. The perfect curve out.
I do like that you're curving out into a 1 mana spell, but yes, it is a good curve out. That was a heads up no block there from Annabelius.
Oh yeah, I love it when opponents try on that cheeky attack into the Ruin Crab.
I'm in for the attack. I think it's great. Oh, Standard. What have you done to us?
Lovestruck Beast coming down on 3, a very how many times throughout this standard season have we said the phrase Lovestruck Beast coming down on 3?
Yeah. Look at this ancestral recall in the house.
Let's go. A little bit unfortunate for Annabelius that Ruin Crab couldn't come down before the land, but does have leaving open that Soaring Thought Thief. And these guys kill you pretty quickly if you're not careful.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious there because there is definitely consideration of playing this Soaring Thought Thief on Annabelius' main phase, or at least to get both the trigger and more damage in. So it would get a +1.
Mm-hmm.
But I can kind of see the advantage of being like, well, do you want to play a spell? I have 2 mana. You don't know what I have. So I definitely understand. The Rogues deck has to kind of play with some hidden information. Otherwise it's tough.
Philippa getting value off that Edgewall Innkeeper. The
number I'm scared of as a Rogues player is like from the Teamer side is the ultimatum, like 7 mana. So far everything is going the way it should.
Ooh, look at that nice copy of Negate as well in the main deck.
Yeah, well, now I'm less worried about that. I think Annabelius has a Swamp in their hands, so it's not, unfortunately, like we can't play all of our spells this turn. So I'm not sure which one of those spells we even want to play now. Oh, it's not even either a Swamp, it's a Tap Land.
Oh, it's a Tap Land? Okay. Yeah,
I kind of want to smash for 8. I just want to smash. I don't know. Maybe that's my like aggro-ness coming out in me. Because like if we play the 3rd Thought Thief, I think we're attacking in for 8 and milling 6 cards. It's like a heck of a lot. But I understand the patience.
Yeah.
So now I think Annabelle
there's
deciding
not
on
a lot that...
Yeah.
Right. Just has to hold up the Negate / Soaring Thought Thief instead.
Yeah, now that we have the permission spell, like the thing that's really hard for the Rogues player is to decide when to go. Like they have 2 life totals they're attacking, and in this case, they're actually attacking both quite aggressively. So they sort of need to decide which one do they attack. Oh, this is going to get a little.
Look at this though. Yeah, Annabelius down to 5 does not leave back those 3 power creatures to block. Takes the full damage from the 2 adventure creatures, and here comes Terror of the Peaks. And if Philippa can find a big creature to come down next turn, that's just going to be lethal.
Oh, well, how much mana do we have? Did we draw land? Okay, I think we did draw land. So I believe we're gonna own that Terror.
Oh, Lull Mage's domination.
We're gonna borrow it for just a small amount of time.
until for the combat step that it takes to get lethal
until
across.
we deal this 12 damage that we're about to do. So it's really interesting there. Like I actually am super curious. Like I get the idea of holding back our spells, but I wonder how aggressive we could have been with those Thought Thieves. But overall, like 12 damage Xaxes, I think Annabelius had the plan. Was definitely on board with the plan with those Thought Thieves.
Yeah. So Obosh coming out in the sideboard, and then we see the Chainweb Arachnids and the Oxen of Agonis coming in. And Chainweb Arachnid, Caroline, a real headache for the rogues deck.
Yeah, I will say it looks cooler. Like it doesn't always like get the rogues player, in my opinion. Like it's definitely annoying, but it's more just like a little poke. It's just like, come on. Also, I just want to say that Philippa passed like the first mini game of this stream, which is how to sideboard with a companion. So I just want to give props to that. Because you have to unclick the like little footprint to show the rest of your sideboard. It's just hidden.
Oh.
Like right now, Annabelius is like, if they have like non-Lurrus sideboard cards, as I'm sure they don't, they would be hidden from view right now. It's like the weirdest thing.
Because it doesn't let you put them in because they're not like legal.
Yeah, so you have to like remove Lurrus and then you can see them. I know many people that have like filed bugs being like, hey, my sideboard didn't show up. So
rogue sideboard here. This one pretty much as you would expect. Mystical Disputes negates the key kind of cards to stop the big Genesis Ultimatum.
But our one mind was sided out. Our ancestral.
Our ancestral. No, come back. Best card ever printed.
I know.
Double Edgewall Innkeeper, double Bone Crusher Giant. What do you think about
that? It's it definitely will kill some creatures, just unfortunately not the crabs. At least, I mean, Annabelius has shown the ability to sniff out a stomp when needed, so it doesn't seem likely.
Here is that first copy of Ruined Crab, and I really liked what I can't remember whether it was Annabelius or our other rogues player this evening who said this in their answer, and they said, "Who doesn't love a turn 1 cup?" I have to say, I'm in full agreement.
One thing I was just thinking of, you were asking about those stomps, and I realized they're actually quite good against the enforcers, because the enforcers will have death touch. It's one of the ways that the rogues deck can kind of fight with these aggressive big creature decks. Teamer's a little less than that, but you know, they have big bodies, and these death touch enforcers can help out, but that stomp will kind of maybe interfere with that plan. We'll have to see.
Enforcer comes down, mills enough cards to enable its own ability, and we are going to see that stomp take out this first copy of the Eastern Enforcer, but we know, of course, that Annabelius has the second one ready in hand. I love the Eastern Enforcer. It's so scary. It's just it's just like, oh, I'm just a little 1/1. Don't worry about me.
The rogues deck is so tough. Like, you're just in a spot here where it's like, oh shoot, I'm gonna have we're gonna play the second enforcer, or maybe we're not, because we would have played the Wind Robber if we were gonna do that. It's like all annoying. The whole rogues deck is just annoying. That's my conclusion.
Okay. Wow. And look at this. Sorry, Thought Thief got by Mystical Dispute. Things looking up for Philippa in game number 2 here in week 2 of the VML.
Oh,
milling an Ox and a Chainweb Arachnid as well. Some very nice.
I will say, as a 4/5, it pokes a little bit harder.
Yeah. And here comes second Edgewall Innkeeper, and what Philippa's going to draw 2 cards off this. I mean, Edgewall Innkeeper is basically an of one mind.
Yeah, I will say it's really tough because, like, I get like drawing cards is definitely powerful for Philippa, but there has to be a side of Annabelius. It's like, okay, you draw those cards. It just gets me closer to the bottom. I don't know. It's definitely. And you can tell here, like, this match is going, like, Annabelius is not doing those, like, swings of 3 and then 8 and 12 and whatever, right? Like, this is a different game. We are not winning this game on combat damage, so, or at least not currently. So Annabelle definitely has to decide, like, what does that mean for the rest of the match? And I'm kind of curious, like, maybe milling out here is a real actual option. I think I saw the number 29 before these mills, so
yeah,
we're halfway
29,
there.
and there's also a fabled passage on the battlefield as well. Merfolk Windrobber gets in for 1 every turn. 1 mil, that is. Also
really,
1 damage.
I was about to say that Philippa's hand is actually just all lands, but nope.
Nope. Terror of the Peaks, the big mythic dragon from M21. No creature, of course, this turn to follow up, but plenty of action in the graveyard ready to be escaped. And wow, if that weapon gets essentially 2 for 0.
That was a really surprising scry. We scryed a creature to the bottom. I guess the idea is that we just already have a ton of creatures. Yeah, but I guess we just have a ton. We have the chain webs and the oxes. That makes sense. I was just thinking, like, creatures, like, terror, let's just go. But
yeah, Annabella's only at 12. I mean, next turn, Philippa potentially the mana to escape both the Ox and the Chainweb Arachne, which is very exciting. Here comes Lurrus. And the ability of Lurrus to just help this Rogues deck continue to grind out for value, that Merfolk Windrobber quote-unquote combo.
I think we should play the Awakening as a land if we haven't played a land yet. And I'm trying to decide if it's just too risky to make it untapped, unfortunately, I think. Because the Ox... Yeah, we can't. The Ox would just kill us, so...
Right, because you can see the creatures in the
We have a Windrobber. We have a Windrobber to block.
Well, not if the Arachnia comes first.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Scorching Dragonfire. So, looks like it is going to be Chainweb Arachnia first. That's going to have 2 triggers when it comes in. The first one, of course, its own trigger, where it can punch a flying creature, and of course the Terror of the Peak trigger as well.
Yes, this is quite a lot of damage for sure. 9.
4 to the face. Terror comes in for...
Oh, right.
Isn't it lethal?
Yeah. No, this is lethal.
Okay. That's gonna do it. Terror of the Peak.
I forgot that the Chainweb can fight the 1/1, so it can't block anymore. So yeah.
Yeah. It's punch. It just straight up like whips it out of the air. Not a big difference here between play and draw, it looks like, at least from the teamer side of the battlefield. And Annabellius having a look over at the list, going to resubmit that as well as we go into our first game 3 of the evening, which bit nerve-wracking for the players, of course, but for Caroline and myself, we love to see a game 3.
Oh yeah. I will say Annabellius mulligan a hand with all 3 into the story is way quicker than I would have, only because I would have been like, but hear me out.
Into the story.
But hear me out.
Hear my story.
Into the story. Unfortunately, that does mean that we headed down to 5, which is not fun.
Yeah, especially on the play. Merfolk Windrobber, Drown on the Lock and Negate, though. A very respectable 5-card hand for Annabellius. Ooh, Chainweb Arachnia. Oh my goodness, what a rip. And that is going to just immediately...
I feel like I totally said that the Chainwebs are not a big deal, and then they're just absolutely proving me wrong. They're like, no, Caroline, we're the big deal. Get used to it. We're here. We're a spider. We're a 1/2.
We're here. We're a spider.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it just says. That's the actual soundbite. It plays when it comes in.
Oh my goodness. Scorching Dragonfire out of the sideboard takes down the Soaring Thought Thief as well. What can Annabellius find? And it's interesting because when you deal with these creatures that mill against rogues, you also deal with their Drown in the Locks in a way.
Yeah. Does definitely. I mean, I will say, Philippa's creatures they don't scale up super fast. So you have some time to just naturally build up cards, like with fetch lands and burn spells and stuff. So I think, except for like the ultimatums, I think, most things are still fairly drown in the lockable.
Ruin Crab. Yeah, drown in the lava.
Oh no!
Brazen Borrow are going to try and bounce that, but we'll see what Annabelius has to say about this. Is going to at the very least, get 3 more cards of mill in.
Oh, well, and more importantly, the card we scryed at the top. So the Great Henge is no more.
It's honestly such a sweet feeling when you get to mill your opponent's scry to the top. It just feels so sneaky and roguelike.
What about this?
Also, Caroline. Well, I mean, for whom? It's in the name. It's
Oh my. Okay. That was unexpected. Maybe there wasn't 5 cards, it was only 4. Okay. Well, that was why. I was like, oh, I just assumed that it was good to go, but it looks like it is now good to go.
Yeah. Eventually, that drown and lock, you can delay its coming, but eventually the waters are going to wash over you. You are going to sink into the depths. And,
this is still definitely tough for Annabelius, but I will say, like, getting to untap on the turn before Philippa has 7 lands is super huge, right? Because now we can hold up the negate for the rest of our lives if we choose to, or in the case we drew this dispute, just hold that up. Like, I think we're just so much safer just chilling. Like, we're not getting attacked for 5. Like a Lovestruck Beast would be really tough here, right? If just kept beating us down. We aren't at threshold yet, which is kind of wild.
Wow, Annabella says, I'm going to live on the edge. I'm just going to tap out this turn.
Okay, well, now I'm scared.
One card left in hand that Annabellis doesn't know about. Of course,
well, that's fair, right? Well, we know, like, it can't be both a land and the ultimatum.
So yeah, that's true. That's true.
I'm just always terrified of the ultimatum. Maybe that's what's happening. I just live my life in fear.
I think you mean in terror.
Oh, I do. Yeah, that's a good point. I've seen it do 100 damage. Okay, it's terrifying. Oh yeah.
And I get a nice trade-off here for the Brazen Borrower on that Merfolk Windrobber. Scorching Dragonfire was the pickup for Philippa this turn, and Annabella is going to be breathing a sigh of relief.
It's into the story.
Oh, who's found that wheel first? And it looks like it's Annabella.
Who's into winning now? I will say there is definitely a fear of counterspells, so I kind of understand the hesitation to wait a little bit, and I am curious to know when Annabellius will fire off. Oh, such patience! Oh my gosh, I should never play rogues. So this is very heads up and very patient, and I really appreciate it. But I'm over here being like, but into the story.
But we can draw for. I mean, it's okay because you know that you're gonna get your into the story through eventually. So just hold on a little bit. Temple, a very nice one to get some more mills going. And we are 20 cards deep without having seen an ultimatum yet, I believe. I'm not sure if there's one in the graveyard.
It's basically impossible to tell from our perspective. So we'll do a little bouncy action. Oh, but then now we can't play. Philippa can't play the borrower now.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised because I think it would be reasonable for Philippa to just, put the pressure on, right?
Yeah, I think both players are playing quite patiently, which is so not my style. So I'm definitely like over here being like, okay, I'm in for it. Let me know when you want to draw those 4 cards or when you want to make a 3-1. Let me know.
This is nice though.
The pulling off. Yeah. Oh, what are we up to?
Okay, I'm gonna refill the hand for Philippa, but Annabella's thinking about refilling her own hand.
And this makes sense, right? Because there's just no cards. So it's like, okay, Philippa's taking a break. Now's the time to draw my 4 cards. I like it. I appreciate it. Oh, speaking of a full hand, my goodness. What a beautiful sight for someone who mulled a 5.
Oh, a double ruin crab as well, followed by the land. The mill plan very much back on. This is going to be 6 cards, taking Philippe down
where
to
are we at?
30.
We're at 30. I think we're at probably 27. Oh no, 30. Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure when it shows you the number. I will say that another ox was flipped. We're definitely in danger zone of getting damaged out, right? Like we don't have great blockers at the moment. We do have the Thought Thief.
There is that Heartless Axe available as well in hand.
Yeah, actually, and it's only really available now for this ox. doesn't get available later because it will have a counter on it. So it is kind of a now or never ox plan.
See whether Annabellis decides to very cruelly dispatch either of these creatures.
Yeah, it's tough from our point of view. We know whatever Annabellius plays will resolve, but like Annabellius doesn't know that. So there's definitely a ton of thought of being like, okay, what do I want countered? What do I not want countered? Like, what can I fight over, et cetera, et cetera. So
what's giving the pause? Oh, it's the Brazen Borrow and the Adventure Zone. Let's say there's something that's giving a pause on the arena on the side. It's interesting. So it looks like it's going to be just a trade with the Soaring Thought Thief and the Ox of Agonis. And Philippa says, I don't need these 2 lands in my hand. Let's go again. God, Ox is so good. Ox is just such a good card.
Yeah.
This is crazy. And originally we really looked at these 2 decks and we thought, wow, Tima, it's so expensive.
Gosh, that is... that Terra cannot get played, unfortunately, due to the lack of double red. It's actually really quite unfortunate. I think I'm inclined from Philippa's side to just play the Borrower because of that. Like maybe you can still make a 1/1, I guess, if you wanted to. But
just play it now. Oh yeah, play it now. Oh, it draws the card off.
Oh my gosh,
as well. No,
we can just ping her face if we want.
The Spikefield has it.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is tough. Annabellius really did come back. Like the amount of damage being done to her was not significant in the beginning, but this is just going to be overwhelming, I think. Because a lot of their spells in their hand are permission spells and things are already in play. So I predict this will be a little tough to come back from.
So Heartless Axe and a big Agadeem's Awakening though. That's going to get a bunch of stuff back from the graveyard. Lurrus, Thieves Guild Enforcer, and Soaring Thought Thief. The old 1-2-3 punch.
Yeah, and none of them
are put up a bunch of
hazardable. There's no Spikefield hazards to be had. So I take it back. This is definitely a start.
Oh my goodness, though. What a draw. Stomp off the top.
Yeah, it's tough because we also just know of the Terror as well.
Chainweb Arachnia, that's gonna...
Oh, this will... Okay.
Is this lethal?
I don't think so.
It's not quite lethal, right? Because
it might be chunky.
Thief gets punched. And then the Brazen Borrower for sure is getting across.
Like the 1/1s don't need to attack; they'll just get blocked by the 0/3. So
yeah. So we're gonna see the trade with the Thieves Guild Enforcer, and I think Philippa is still significant. As in, there aren't enough. It's 20 cards still in the library. 14 after this mill.
Yeah, I've seen some crazy stuff. I don't think this is it. Like right now, just we know that there's just a Terror plus Bone Crusher Giant, which I guess the Mystical Disputes does actually stop. So maybe we're not. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't count Annabellius out yet. Who knows? Like, what does a fetch land do for us? So 14. Fetch land does 6.
Fetch land would be 12. Would be 12 cards.
Right. Still not quite enough. I guess
not
if an
quite.
Ox cast
I guess an Ox, or if maybe, I don't know, a Thieves Guild. Oh no, because one of the crabs has to chump. So a fetch land won't put Annabellius within range, unfortunately. For them.
We were living a little bit of magical Christmas land, I think.
Philippa just really rounding it out now. Terror of the Peaks, that is going to hit the battlefield. And she's going to attempt to try and close this one out with the Bone Crusher Giant. We know, of course, that one is not going to resolve, but...
right, I forgot. Oh, but there's another one, so hold on one second. Big stack.
Yep. Counter spells coming through.
Right one. It's a whole thing.
And Annabelius, one last look off the top. Drown in the lock. That can deal with the Terror of the Peaks. But
okay, hold on. So hear me out.
Annabelius still at 3.
So wait. This isn't. Oh yeah, Terror's got a trigger. I forgot.
That Annabelius scoops it up the Terror of the Peaks.
No, hold on. I would like to correct the fact that Annabelius did not scoop it up. Annabelius cast Drown in the Lock, targeting Terror, which did 3 damage to her life total. So.
Okay. Well, all right.
Just saying.
Technically correct. Apparently, the best kind of correct.
It's the best way to end that game. You go out on your own terms.
Yeah.
I approve.
Go out in style. Just yeet yourself off the onto the consume
but you
button.
took the dragon with
and
you.
That's gonna do
That's what matters. You brought the dragon with you.
That's what
off the yeeting.
Okay, off the coast. All right. Well, congratulations to Philippa. I have not got their records in front of me, but regardless, at this early stage in the season, it's still kind of anybody's game. Philippa now at 1-1 in the league, and I believe Annabelle is also at 1-1. So and as you know, we've seen plenty of people make it through on 4-3, 5-2. Usually is going to make it through. So still a long way, of course, in the season to go. Yeah, let's head straight down into our second set of feature match deck lists. And I believe this is going to be coming to you from Division Number 1, Emma Skyward of Team Fate to Karma. And Emma Skyward has brought mono green food. Caroline, tell us about this deck.
Well, it's great. For one, this was one of my favorite standard decks for a while. I really liked the card Feasting Troll King. One of the things I read about on Twitter or whatever was just this card is only good because they banned the 7 other good food cards in the set. But that's what it takes to get the Feasting Troll King up into front page. I'm fine with it. I really like the card and I really like food when it's not overpowered. So I'm happy to see this kind of deck do well. It looks like Emma chose this deck because everybody was playing Gruul. And so Emma was like, well, this has a good matchup against Gruul and a good matchup against my opponent's last week deck, which was Dimir. So kind of really smart heads up play to say, let's pick a deck that is good against both of these things and see what happens. So should we see what happened?
You like Feasting Troll King because you're a massive troll.
Yeah.
Is that the reason? And he's your king.
But not legendary. But not
legendary. That's true. He's one of many kings. Let's have a look at what mono green food is going up against. It's going to be Grace Fallon. And Grace has brought... Oh, it's Team Ramp again.
Yeah, I want to
see some more. I want to see some ultimatum action, Carol. I want to see some wheels being
did we even see one cast in the last match? I guess not.
I don't think so.
I will say that Emma's logic made sense, but it doesn't work out if your opponent zags when you think they're going to zig. So as much as I started off this whole cast talking about how not many people were doing a lot of switching, Grace, on the other hand, was like, well, actually, here's a switch. And this switch is unfortunately quite a powerful matchup against mono green, I think, in my opinion, just because your late game is these awesome Feasting Troll Kings and the Teamer Ramp's late game is 7 mana win. So it's gonna be a little tricky. I've seen it go both ways though, so I'm excited.
All right.
But I will say that Grace wasn't expecting mono green, so maybe I'm wrong. Who knows?
Well, I mean, just in the sideboard, I think the main deck, Received Wisdom is definitely the Teamer Ramp. It's supposed to just go over the top of green, but we'll see whether that actually transpires as we go down to the action straight away. We have Grace on the upper half of your screen and Emma on the lower half. We are going to be watching from the point of view of Emma. And this is a nice one. Witch's Oven, Tangled Florahedron, Mammoth, and Wicked Wolf.
Yep. Got all the things I need.
Yeah. So in this kind of hand, Caroline, are you looking to play the Florahedron as a land, or are you playing it on turn number 2?
I don't know. I'm more curious about playing the Mammoth as a land, I think. Maybe not.
Okay.
It's really tricky because the Bone Crusher Giant is just always on your mind. So I guess Emma decided that the Tangled could just get crushed and it just wouldn't be very fun. So makes sense.
The Bone Crusher Giant on your mind sounds like some kind of like MTG Remy cover of a song.
Yeah, give him some new ideas. I like it.
Caroline and I are both huge fans of MTG Remy.
Oh yeah.
If you haven't checked out his song parodies, they are great. Witch's Oven, just such a problematic little permanent on turn number in the early turns of the game.
I have to say I'm not a huge Witch's Oven fan in this style of deck. I think it's specifically good against rogues because they have like the Lull Mage's binding. But other than that, I find it doesn't do what I'm used to it doing, like in the food deck, in the other cat oven decks. So I'm not great at using it. I think I just maybe don't. I feel bad because it just doesn't get used very often. Like I want my oven to be active, you know, food in, food out.
It's just quietly sat there. Well, I don't know if you know about this. I don't think you know about this stereotype, but like the stereotype in Asian families is that like they just never use the oven, and people like use it as extra cupboard like storage for pots and pans.
Yeah, maybe that's what's going on here. I don't know. I will say that this is sort of one of the things to be afraid of for mono green is like we're over here putting out some damage, like we're going to attack for 5, but Grace is over there being like, "Oh, I'm ready to go to 7 now. See ya next turn." So terrifying.
It is terrifying because, you know, that Obosh is put in hand, Grace managing to both ramp and use up all of her mana. And Kazanta Mammoth is going to come in, you know, Grace does go down to 15, but this could be an ultimatum turn right here.
Grace does need a blue source for this to work. So that's step 1. Unsure how many untapped blue sources exist in Magic's history, but also in this deck.
And yeah, there's already a Fabled Passage in the graveyard, so that's at least one of them gone. And the fact that Grace hasn't immediately slammed land ultimatum, maybe a little hint.
Yeah, this feels to me like a sequencing, like trying to decide, you know, well, hold on.
Island.
Okay.
Obosh. Okay. Obosh the Prey Piercer hits the battlefield. That one, of course, going to double the damage output of anything that is odd CMC. Bit of an odd card itself, but certainly done some powerful things.
Brazen Borrower somewhere. I'm sensing a borrower.
You just have your rogue senses are tingling.
Well,
so can I just say how insanely well Rogue Watch has gone? Like Rogue Watch started out as like
Wizards we would like see our stream and made rogues based on how excited we were about them. I'm pretty sure.
That's definitely what happened.
No Brazen Borrower. Okay. Well, let's see what's in the works then. Grace, what else?
I wonder if it was maybe it was a stump, which is the only spell that does not get its damage doubled.
It wasn't red because the Obosh took 2 red to cast.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay. Hard cast Terror of the Peaks. Let's see whether there's a follow-up. No follow-up, but have the blue left up once again. So Emma just building out, doing mono green things, building up this board.
And Emma does have access to this Wicked Wolf to take down anything that it needs to, because the trail, but also the oven could jump into action at any point and produce some food. So this Wicked Wolf is definitely going to do something. Should it resolve? Question mark.
Honestly, I'm looking at what's instant speed available in the main deck. For Grayson, it really is just
I wonder if it's
Brazen Borrow.
borrower. Like, I wonder if Grace was just very patient.
Hmm.
Which it would really not work out well for Emma if this is a Brazen Borrower here. But let's find out.
Well, there's that pause. There's the hover.
Wow. That if that was in Grace's hand last time, that is just so patient. Because we're just so off to the races now. We have an active terror. I think we just have lethal. I have to assume it's lethal. Oh, but we okay. Never mind. Emma has to. So
yes.
So
And
great. Grace doesn't have to be lethal.
So, yeah.
It's still
so Obosh has to get traded off.
7.
It was with the Obosh, it was very.
Oh yeah, but that was good that Emma could still attack, like force in a block. So, still, Grace untapping with terror has to be terrifying.
Right, even like a Beanstalk Giant that we know is in hand. Oh, it's going to be Kazandu Mammoth. That can take out the opposing Kazandu Mammoth with the trigger.
Yeah. Wow, some mammoth on mammoth action over there. Hey, the oven's getting used. That's exciting.
Just like a kind of prehistoric like elephant fight.
And then of course we have a flash 3 damage spell at any point with this Brazen Borrow that's chilling out. But I think we're gonna go for attempt number 2 on killing this terror.
Wicked Wolf 2.
Wicked Wolf 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Electric Wolfaloo. I don't know. I tried.
Oh, I kind of want to see it bounced again.
Oh no! Wait, it's
we
just
knew
going
this
to
one.
be the front side. Okay, and that's gonna wait.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, this is just saying like, hey, you know. Yeah, I mean, it's basically if just targeted the human. I guess that gets an extra. It's gonna get the extra counter because it's gonna sack and. Yeah.
Trail of Crumbs finding that copy of the Great Henge as well. Things looking really sweet now for Emma Skyward in game number 1. And this one has been, you know, a little bit of a longer one, as we are used to seeing from the mono green decks. They do not kill you quickly. They're not, you know, just gruel minus red.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and the thing is like this is on par for Emma. Like Emma's doing everything that their deck allows them to do. My like always constant fear in life is like, yes, but what happens to that ultimatum? And that's all. I guess it's not really a good way to lead my life, but it's just what I'm thinking about, right?
Honestly, Caroline, we're getting a lot of insight into your you know mental state here. I feel like I should be charging for this therapy session. Like, and how does Genesis also make you feel, Caroline?
The other thing to consider is like we do just have these free 7/7s whenever we feel like it. Free in the sense that we have to pay for them, but like they'll just show up if we need them. So
classic quote for the ages: free in the sense that we have to pay for them.
Yeah.
Okay, it's going to be a little bit more ramp. First, could this be another copy of Terra?
No, not enough mana. Oh wait, yeah, well, not enough red. Not the way it's currently.
Not enough red. Yeah. Oh,
hold on. Another copy of Terror is not as productive. I guess it's okay. It's just like we are gonna have to chump the wolf.
Okay, it looks. This might just be a good night attack.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to find out.
Do my quests on MTG Arena. My attack with 40 creatures.
Yeah, I wonder what I'm missing. Maybe Brazen Bar and a block.
And it's gonna be the scoop. So let's look at the sideboard before we go into game number 2. Thrashing Brontodon, that's coming out. Do you like Primal Might against Team?
Okay, hold on. That's like an unfair question. Because
Okay.
you know that Primal Might is my favorite card of all
And
time.
yeah,
I'm just gonna say yes.
well, that's great. That's some
No,
well-needed 2021 positivity for the
unfortunately,
our lovely viewers.
I don't like fight cards against a deck that plays 4x of a bounce spell. It is just too sad. I don't like.
Wait, so you were saying it was an unfair question because you were going to say yes, but
I was just
you
gonna
then
say yes
said
because I
no.
love Primal Might. I wasn't gonna listen to the rest. You just said, "Do you like Primal Might?" I didn't hear the other.
Ah, I see. I see.
I'm just saying. Do you like ice cream? Yes. What was the rest of the question? I don't know.
Outdoors in December in the Arctic.
Yep. Still, yep.
Oh yes.
I am
Just
kind of worried. The
Wow.
Beanstalk Giant, it is 7 mana to cast, right? Or is it 8?
It is 7. It's
Okay.
6 and a
Okay. I was like worried that I was just totally like misspeaking, but hey, speaking of my favorite card. Hi, Primal Mike.
Yeah.
What's up? Have
Primal
you
Might
looked at the art of that card? It's just beautiful. It's just this beautiful dinosaur. Oh,
Honestly, I just assumed it was some green nonsense.
it's so
And I
beautiful.
just never really looked at it. You know how I am. That first hand though did get sent back. Primal Might not really having many enablers. This one, Tangled Florahedron, Lovestruck Beast, Questing Beast, Wicked Wolf, and yeah, that the cards got moved around, so that confused me. Some cards that I am.
Most of them.
A lot of the mid-range green creatures, but we don't see many of the value engines of this deck just yet.
You know what we do see though? We do see Obosh. So that does mean that Grace sideboarded but did not side in any of the cards that would make Obosh illegal. I don't know what those necessarily are, but I can find out for us. So that would mean, actually, yeah. So that means like Scorching Dragonfires aren't in. I think that's basically it. Oh, and no Ugin. So we know that this is an Ugin-free zone. Just saying.
Well, do we know that Emma Skyward didn't side in?
Yeah, I guess we don't know that. I wasn't watching.
I think she was at least considering it. Grace on the play with just the one Beanstalk Giant, the Fertile Footsteps this time, but is out on the board with Lovestruck Beast. It is Lovestruck Beast versus Lovestruck Beast currently.
Lovestruck Beast versus the world.
And we might be joined by a Questing Beast as well to really.
I was thinking of doing some chomping. I'm not sure. Some Wicked Wolf chomping.
Humping.
Some free humps.
Well, there's no food just yet, but it would eat those 1/1s quite nicely.
Yeah, I feel like there's less need to hump now that the Lovestruck Beast traded, so I like the attack first to kind of get a feel for it.
And Tangled Florahedron hits the battlefield as well. Back over to Grace, who, look at this. It's Beast all the way down.
Oh, that's all standard is actually. You didn't get the memo?
I was too busy on Rogue Watch 2021.
Gosh, we really did nail that.
I know. We honestly were just drumming up, hype for rogues way before rogues were a thing. Stomp gonna take down that Gilded Goose.
So we have 6 mana. Hump?
This Wicked Wolf not quite big enough to hump the 5/5 Lovestruck Beast.
Sort of humping. It's like mini humping.
Well, it has 3 heads, so technically this is triple humping.
Oh, true. Well, it depends if there's a block, though. I guess it can hump on your face.
Do you think, since it has 3 heads in one body, does it still need like 3 times the amount of food, or does each mouth eat a third of a regular amount of food?
Well, I don't know about you, but I generally tell how much food I eat based on my stomach size and not my head size.
Okay. Well, I have a very big head, so.
For what it's worth, I was really hoping the question was going to be, hey, do you think they each wear their own turtleneck? Which I don't really understand why I thought that was
They
the question.
definitely do each wear their own turtleneck, and we get Genesis Ultimatum, the first one of the evening. No Terror of the Peaks, but that is Elder Gargoth hitting the battlefield, Bone Crusher Giant, Kazanti Mammoth, and a couple of lands.
I really feel
That was
like
a
that,
nice one.
that Genesis Ultimatum ruined my good turtleneck joke, so I'm kind of upset
It
about
was
it.
a great joke. I mean, I was loving it, but then Ultimatum had to like.
Hey, look,
come in
here's
and-
our cool spell too. It's basically the same. I promise.
Wow,
The Elder Gargoth is going to be tough.
Elder Gargoth is such. Oh my goodness! A
gosh.
second ultimatum to follow up.
Grace is
What
making
does
up for
this
lost
one
time.
get? Oh my goodness!
Fair.
Terror of the Peaks, and that's going to be 3 triggers and just straight up concede from Emma. She has seen enough. We are going to see a deciding game 3 here once again.
I do like that everyone got our memo, like to play 3 games. That's good.
Yeah. And just so the viewers
Rugen
know, we
free
definitely send that out. We send out a memo before.
And by definitely, I mean,
before the thing.
this is where Max is going, you know you didn't. This is why we borrowed Max. Oh, it's not an Ugin free zone. I have to update everybody. Ugin is in the mix.
Okay.
Ugin is here.
Ugin's like, this game, it was not working out without me. I'm coming. Never fear.
Ugin's here. I'm a spider.
Wait.
That's a callback to if you watched round 1 with us. And if you didn't, too bad. I'm not explaining the joke.
Gilded Goose, Witch's Oven, Last Strike Beast, Wicked Wolf, and Cogler, all very green cards. Apart from the Witch's Oven, which is colorless. And this is very efficient use of mana in these early turns. Look how much mana Green's got already. Jeez.
Look how many permanents we haven't played. Like we have 2 lands and 4 more permanents.
What is happening?
Welcome to Standard, everybody. Oh, I think someone's gonna have a snack. They're gonna. Oh wait, we don't have 6 mana, right? Not yet. Soon though.
Oh, I love how it's turn 3 and you were just like, "Do we have 6 mana?"
It's possible. It's possible.
This is going to be a very.
We have a Castle Garenbrig in play.
Oh, that's true.
Snack.
Eddie going to be. You're going to just see Edward Incuba's little feet disappearing down the gullet of that Wicked Wolf. As we go back over to Grace, let's see what Grace has got on to develop out on turn 3. Usually, you would see some kind of ramp spell here.
I was just picturing the wolf eating the edged wall innkeeper again.
The little feet disappearing.
Yeah. Okay, so we need an untapped land. Ooh, did not get one. But we get to make a food. Okay, so we'll get 6 mana next turn. Oh, or not.
I'm thinking about whether to set up that next turn or.
Oh, feisty.
A nice attack here.
Well,
Grace. Gonna
trade the. Yeah, I guess I can get to 5. It's gonna be. We have to give up a lot to do it, but I appreciate the hustle.
The wolf hustle. The wolf's just out on the street corner being like, "Hey, you want to buy some blocks?"
And we know the sideboard cards, right? So we know there's not like some random 5 damage spell that Grace can punish us here with, right? Because the wolf is unprotected right now. But I think this is a reasonable, like, really forcing through, saying like, "Hey, I'm here. I'm a spider. I'm here. I'm a wolf, and I'm going to start attacking." But we do need a land to make this Kogla do anything. Oh, hello.
Oh, ask and ye shall receive. A basic forest off the top.
I'm not even sure which better. Because we can go Kogla or just 2 Lovestruck Beasts. Not if we tap like that, though. Oh, tragedy. I think that's an arena thing. But anyway, it's fine. If we had activated the Castle Garenbrig, we could have tapped both. Could have cast both Lovestruck, but it's okay. It's tough. Arena's not the friendliest.
It is not. And especially when you're expecting it to do the right thing, it's not somebody that will just do the right thing by itself. You know, it's like that friend that you have to like really cajole.
The nice thing here is we're really not punished. Like, we do get to make a food. Like, we're back in action. Maybe that was even the plan. Like, it also is hard to tell. Like, I'm over here thinking like, oh no, we don't get to do this thing, and Emma's like, well, I just want to make a food this whole time. So it's really hard to tell. And also,
And it has worked out.
Yeah,
it worked out very well here for Emma Skyward. Cogler, the Titan ape, is going to, you know, just pour giant hand, like pour to swipe the Terror of the Peaks out of the air. Genesis ultimatum, though,
what?
for Grace, spinning the wheel, and let's see what happens.
Tell me when it's finished.
Oh, it's a medium one. It's like Kazanji Mammoth, Beanstalk Giant, and Bone Crusher Giant on the battlefield. That Beanstalk Giant is the biggest thing around.
Okay, Primal Might off the top.
Castle Darren Bridge.
I wanted to call my shot. I thought it'd be good.
There is a Witch's Oven available, but
oh my gosh.
not really very many good attacks here.
Well, I'm very excited to announce that Kogla has text, which has never in the history of ever been relevant. And I'm not even certain it's going to be relevant now, but I will say that it is possible. There is a human in play.
Okay, so if you return the human, it becomes indestructible.
It's just not clear that you want to return the human because it's a 1/1 and it's your only 1/1. But I would like to just announce that it's the first time I've ever seen it possible. And I appreciate the pause to decide, do I even want to do it, by Emma.
I mean, I appreciate that Emma even knew about that line of text.
Yeah. I was just excited. I was like, oh, is it time? Is it finally time?
Well, Grace does get to untap. And Grace has the second ultimatum. So let's see if this is going to be a Terror of the Peaks or two. Oh, it's just one Terror of the Peaks. Is that enough? Is that enough to save Grace?
Well, there's not lethal anymore, right? There's two blockers.
There's two blockers, and then that would mean 6 damage going through, and potentially a Brazen Borrower or a Stomp. It's 2 lands hit the battlefield, I think.
Yes, I will say, assuming that Grace doesn't die, if Grace puts Obosh in hand and has an untapped land in hand, we are good to go in lethal territory for next turn. Whether or not Grace could afford to do that, I've been focusing on the next turn, not this turn. So we'll see. Like, I mean, if only see.
Broken Wings.
Speaking of
the target Witch's Oven.
Of song crossovers that you could sing about magic. Broken Wings.
Broken Wings. And that's going to be the turn for Grace. Really precarious facing down this huge army. I was really, if Grace had found something like a Brazen Borrower to deal with the 1/1 or a Stomp to deal with the 1/1.
Oh, for what it's worth, I'm only cheering for Primal Might just so I can name a card that I said was bad. Because I like it when
I just assume that you just randomly at all times shout Primal Might. Like, even in your daily life. Like, you're at the store and you're like, Primal Might.
Yep. Can confirm that this happened. Okay, I like this. So
come on, 1/1, get in that.
So Grace has to block 2 things here. Okay. Yeah, so Grace's lethal plan was not a possibility.
It was not. The wolf is going to bounce off that Beanstalk Giant. Terror of the Peaks trades with Lovestruck Beast. But Grace survives yet again. And we have seen 2 Genesis ultimatums already. But if there's a third one...
If we have Primal Might in our deck, let's get those lands into play. I'm just saying. Have some respect for the card. the one card we're not going to draw.
There's the other Beanstalk.
Okay. I wonder
what Grace has in hand.
Lands, I guess. Maybe Obosh.
Obosh is.
Well, not yet. I was predicting that maybe that one.
Oh, I see. Grace really looking for... Oh, it's a
Oh,
Kazandu Mammoth. So that's another blocker.
it's gonna be
Are
tough.
you going to shout Primal Might again?
Well, I don't even think. I'm not sure it's lethal anymore. So I kind of want to eat a food, but
Oh, how about your favorite?
Do you like some trolls and some kings and
some
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11. So now this Wicked Wolf get a little feisty. Can take down a giant in current form.
Wicked Wolf, this card is just so problematic. Like, what is in Grace's deck that can deal with it? Like, maybe Brazen Borrow, maybe can like...
Yeah, Brazen Borrow is the best answer against it. I will say that like I'm just nervous to give Grace back the driving seat. You know, the teamer deck. It's not great at driving. It's just really great at throwing a bunch of things on the road. So I'm kind of concerned. You know.
Yes, it's more eating than driving.
Okay, this is one thing I was concerned about.
And then still 3 mana to
get
that cultivate going.
Not giant anymore.
Oh yeah, now that Beanstalk Giant at least I think there's still a land drop to be made this turn as
that's
well.
the thing. It can take out 12, but it couldn't take out 13. This was
can Grace attack here and just force some blocks? Like, this is so lethal.
I think so. Like each Beanstalk Giant is lethal. Oh, okay.
Okay, it's gonna be a standoff here. Another feasting Troll King, and they are not legendary, as you very aptly pointed out.
Complained about. Okay, well, we're back into wolf territory, being able to take out a giant, which is nice.
Well, there's seven foods, right, available because of the So
no, we're gonna play another feasting Troll King, so we'll get 3 more.
Oh, sure, that makes sense. I was like, with the goose. Yeah,
I think we'll be Gucci, but
gonna be hard.
we really do need this Primal Might. I'm just like thinking about like how are we gonna push through damage? Like any terror, and
how either player could this possibly kill Emma through 10 foods?
Yeah, I guess it's a lot of foods. I mean, we don't have enough mana to crack all of them though. Okay, let's see.
Is there a thing in the team list? No. Like the rand maybe?
No.
There
used to be in the like Fae versions, but not. There is the oh gosh, I don't even something Baloth. It's 7 mana. I don't know that. It does stuff.
Cragplate Baloth.
Yeah,
Cragplate Baloth. The new kind of chart.
It does stuff.
It's it's big. It's large. It's in charge.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Good thing there was not a terror in play. Oh, I think my Primal Might plan is not even. Oh no! Wait. Primal Might is so on the table, and I'm so excited. Do you know why?
Why is Primal? No.
Because there's a Gilded Goose in play. It is a little goosey that flies. So you make it big.
Oh my goodness.
I'm really excited now.
Oh wait, Vivian Monsters Advocate. That is going to make a token. Bonder's Enclave on the top of the library. So that unfortunately not a creature. Not a Primal Might. Not a creature that
could draw into a Primal Might. I'm just
my goodness. Let's spin the wheel. Let's go. This is ultimatum time once again here.
There the peaks.
In game number 3. This could not be closer. No terror. 3 Brazen Borrows.
My goodness.
3 Brazen Borrows.
Okay, well, way to take my one cool play away.
And those, let me just remind everybody, there is an Obosh the Prey Piercer on the battlefield. Those Brazen Borrows are 6 power flyers.
Well, there are going to be at least 2 reach creatures, plus the goose. So.
Okay.
Because Vivian spits out reach.
Ah, okay. So, things not as crazy as they seem.
I'm a little curious to know if the Brazen Borrows would have been better as spells, but I'm not confident. Like I didn't count. I was curious to see how many spells we could bounce for Grace before they could start attacking with those Beanstalk Giants. But here we are. Oh.
Second Wicked Wolf. That is coming off the top of the
Okay,
library.
I like that. End the terror. That's literally giving me a terror, which is this Obosh. Okay.
I love Obosh. This is such a cool card. Like, of all the companions, I think it's the like weirdly strong. It's like so weirdly strong, but so fragile.
Wait, cast the Forahedron, please. Can we please?
First things first, make a reach. That's like I'm thinking about leaving up the foods, maybe.
Yeah, but this is like drawing a card.
Yeah, why draw a card when you could just...
We're at 23, and we're not really in danger of dying anymore because the Obosh is gone, and there's 3 Beanstalk Giants in play. So, okay.
Okay. So Grace could still, of course, string together something like a couple of...
Wait, good game? For who?
What's going on?
What do you know that we don't know, Grace? Because this is looking like a tight game to me.
I mean, Grace is at 3.
Wait, what are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blockers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attackers. Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh.
Okay, that is lethal.
Well, is it because... Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Oh yeah, you're right. It is lethal.
I didn't even count the 1/1.
Yeah. So Grace, unless Grace has a petty theft of some kind, maybe a stomp to stop the 5/5 from attacking.
I'm so anxious about this good game here because like it is lethal, but not if we like. I don't want. I would not attack here. I'm like too scared.
Well, I mean, Emma can at least go to attacks, right? Because if it's stomp on the 1/1, then that's going to happen before.
We could play the Florahedron to protect that.
That's true. That is a good point.
So there's like a lot going on here because like the Feasting Troll Kings are free in a way because they can come back second combat if they need to. So I don't think we get lethally punished if we do this. And that's why I think this is a good attack. I think emotionally it's stressful and I was like, I don't know if I can do this. Oh, they also have vigilance, so that's cool too. So I think this makes sense. And this says, hey, do you have something? There's also 3 Brazen Barrows in play. So
yeah, that's true. So, but there are, these 2 cards in hand for Grace, and Grace has been holding onto those cards for a while.
My guess is they're lands, but the other thing, Grace is also... Oh, yeah. This is either the bounce spell or the end of the game. We'll find
just
out.
going to line up all the blocks, and it looks like we are going to damage. So, Emma Skyward winning a very grueling game.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Emma did not win with gruel. Emma won with mono green.
A very teamering, mono greening. Game number 3.
Oh, no, we've lost it in 2 matches in, everybody.
You gotta say, Caroline, I mean, both players really played, like, I was very impressed with the play especially in that game number 3. A lot of different factors at play there and a lot of different things to consider.
Yeah, that was tight. I actually really thought that the teamer player had pulled ahead, just based on the fact that Emma couldn't close, and that didn't end up working out like that way. So it was really back and forth. It was cool.
It was cool. Before we go into our third feature match, let's talk a little bit about NRG Series, our awesome WPN store / sponsor / partner / judge provider. NRG, for those of you who don't know, is Nerd Rage Gaming. And Caroline, you've actually worked with them a little bit for their NRG series.
Yeah, I did a couple of I think I did some modern shows. I think I did a legacy show just the tail end of 2020. They're pretty cool tournaments. They played on this thing. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's called Moto.
Oh.
At least the majority of their tournaments took place. And they even did this like end of year tournament that was 2 formats. So it was Legacy and Modern. And it had a lunch break in the middle so that you could trade your cards back if you didn't own them. It was really cool. Like, I feel like they do a really good job thinking of things that a player thinks about. Like, hey, I'm going to need this thing, but tournament organizers might sometimes forget about that kind of stuff. So I think they do a really good job thinking of all of the little contingencies. So it's pretty cool.
All right. That's cool. So definitely check out all of their online tournament series. And we also have to say, of course, thank you to Wizards of the Coast for being our hashtag sponsor, and also, of course, for providing the invite to their Kaldheim Championships first place. And, their support is going to enable us to offer a pretty sweet prize pool for our competitors, and we're very happy to announce that the prize pool for this season of the VML is going to be $3,000 US. And Caroline, that is nice.
That is exciting. That's pretty much on par for what we had from season 3. So I think a little bit more, actually. It's a little bit more to win for those that win first place. Whoever it may be.
All right, let's get down to our third match before we talk too much about.
I'm trying to be less braggy, okay? Not going well. Oh, look, Gruul. I must have picked this one. since you had a ban on Gruul.
I didn't have a ban. I just knew that you were going to pick some of our most popular decks.
I love it.
I know you do. It's all right.
Look at those 4 of the Throne Wars.
Feel, Caroline?
Makes me feel good. I will say that this list is really just all about all the cool cards. There's 4 the Crowan War, 3 the Great Henge, and 3 Embercleave. This is just like, I'm here. I have all of my cool things.
I opened a lot of packs of Throne of Eldraine.
Yeah.
And here are all my mythics. All right, well, let's have a look at Piper's opponent. Piper, of course, made the top 8 last season, and a very accomplished Magic player overall. And they're going up against Rebecca Black, and Rebecca is on Jeskai Yorion. Oh, this is nice. This is what I like to see.
Yeah, I feel like this is the deck you would have picked to feature.
I love it.
There is a lot going on in this deck list.
Dream Trawler, remember that guy?
Yeah, I do actually. I have not seen a Jeskai Yorion deck before, so I'm very excited to see how it plays out. Especially, like, I do believe that if you want to play a cool deck that's not in the meta, you have to know how it attacks the main decks. So Rebecca must know how it attacks Gruul. And in this case, hopefully, well. But they did just say that they just love Yorion decks in general. And when they saw a Jeskai version, they just wanted to play it. And I think that's super cool. And I think that is awesome. And I am curious to see like how it goes up against the best, in quotations, best deck at the moment. There's some main deck shatters, which is something I called it.
There's a lot. There's 3 main deck shatters. There's 2 main deck Sublime Epiphany, my favorite card, of course.
Yeah, your invitational card.
I'm very excited about. Elspeth Conquers Death, Shark Typhoon, Ugin in the main as well. Let's see whether this Yorion this can get some control happening over the battlefield, or whether we're going to see some cleave action to take down our third feature match, which is coming to you from Division number 2. Rebecca on the upper half of your screen with Piper below. Double Skyclave Apparition, double Dream Trawler. That one looks like it's going to be a keep for Rebecca.
Yeah, I panicked because I thought it was a mulligan, and I was like, wait, but that seems like a good hand.
I know.
There isn't double white.
But there is a scry of this Temple of Triumph, and that is going to the bottom. This hand from Gruul, though, Edge Rolling Keeper, Bone Crusher Giant, Brushfire Elemental, Cleave, and Henge.
Why you didn't name the other spell? Fetch Land. That's a spell in this deck.
Okay, and of course, the all-important Fabled Passage. Piper choosing to put Fire Prophecy in the main deck. Is that something that is often seen in Gruul?
I think from Piper's list, Piper basically includes all of the cards that are extra. And sometimes they're normally like sometimes they can be creatures or other copies like 4x Embercleave and stuff. But in this case, kind of Piper went for the full spectrum of all the one of fun ofs, you know, everything that they needed access to, they got it, including the fire prophecies.
I'm gonna look into Piper's future and maybe see some damage coming towards Rebecca, who I believe did not find the 4th land drop just yet.
Or white, unfortunately. There's the second white.
Oh, there's Barthomaters. That gets a plane.
Well,
so
I have some bad news.
Oh no.
Well, let me quickly 3, 4, 8. Okay, it's not lethal. If we draw an untapped land. Oh wait, I took it back. Is it lethal? I was like, now? Is this lethal?
No,
it's still, if it was a fetch land, it would be lethal. Oh, it's not even a red source, so never mind.
Okay. No, I was like, Fabled Passage for sure would have been pretty lethal there. But as for now, it's just going to be Lovestruck Beast, it looks like. May as well get both sides going.
If it wasn't lethal before, it's definitely lethal next turn, unless I guess we do know that there's a Shattered to be had, so that's pretty lucky.
Oh my goodness. Piper draws the Questing Beast off the Shatter. This is just such typical Gruul nonsense. It's just like, oh, you're going to clear all my creatures. Okay, well, I'll just draw my Questing Beast. Another Mythic from Throne of Eldraine.
I'm a little nervous because Rebecca's hand's actually quite good. Like they can just deal with the next 2 crazy things and then have a Dream Trawler. Maybe. I haven't looked at the lands very well, but so
that is Dream Trawler mana, I believe, because there's white, blue, and then the 2 mountains.
Perfect, yeah.
Skyclave can only play 1 Skyclave Apparition this turn.
Yeah, but then you get to blink it, and yeah.
Okay. Well, Skyclave Apparition, Caroline. This card is bonkers.
Oh, it's I think one of the coolest cards in recent history. Because it's clearly not like it's not taking over any format, but it is very powerful. And I like that a lot.
Just the fact that it deals with anything. Like, it's just so sweet against those really annoying like Trail of Crumbs or Maze Mine Tomes. You just like don't care about those. What's Piper going to do in the next couple of turns here?
Not quite sure, but I imagine it involves a prophecy. I prophesize that a prophecy will be had.
Is that like an announcement of an announcement?
Yep.
A prophecy of a prophecy.
Yeah, now that we're sponsored, we get access to the announcements of the announcements.
Oh, wow. So this could be a Dream Trawler turn.
Yeah, it's interesting because from Piper's side, you know, they have the Fire Prophecy. They're ready for the Yorion Flicker. But I wonder how tempting it is just to put out these Dream Trawler, at least one of them. Also not legendary. Like, not why? Look at it.
There's so many dreams that need to be trolled.
Is there? I like my dreams untrolled. Thank you very much.
You like them untrolled?
Yeah. Get out of
Tell me more about these dreams.
No, this is not a session. I'm not playing you.
Here we go. There's the Dream Trawler. But so if Piper kills this Skyclave Apparition, isn't that just lethal with the Embercleave? Yeah,
the crazy thing is it's because of the first strike.
Oh.
But we have an untapped land. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, we don't need it. Never mind. It costs 5. Okay. Yeah. This is still lethal. Yeah.
Wow. So Rebecca really tried to stabilize with this Dream Troll, which does have lifelink, but Embercleave means that one of these creatures.
Oh, and the 4/4 gets to attack too. Oh, it's super lethal.
It's super lethal here. These are coming in.
This is sort of what I'm worried about from a control side of things. Like, Rebecca did everything that her deck is supposed to do, but the Ember Cleave is just like a game, like a plan ruiner. Just like, well, you wrathed on turn 4 and you removed my 5th creature and I still killed you. Like, it's kind of crazy.
So let's have a look at the sideboards now for both of our players. More removal in the side 5 obviously solves
those Thea Corone Wars are definitely taking a break. Taking a little break ski.
Do you like something like Wilt against this kind of Yorion type
man,
strategy?
I never know what to do because all of their things get value, but like, do they? Let me look. I don't think so. Like, there's not glass caskets. There's not glass caskets, so I think no wilts for me. Like, you don't really want to do the Elspeth Conquers Death, and yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh, some Dream Troll is coming out.
Well, I thought you were in danger there of being sided out.
Oh no, never.
Oh,
wait, no, stop! No touchy. Okay.
I like it. Rebecca's playing with your heartstrings a little bit.
Okay, so looks like Rebecca's keeping this one as well. Bone Crusher Giant, Omen of the Sea, Brazen Borrow, and Shatter Skull Smashing, and Shatter the Sky. A lot of shattering going on here for Rebecca.
Yeah, it's giant shatter standard. Shattering and giants. That's all we got.
And beasts.
And beasts, yeah.
Nice. Brushfire Elemental, Questing Beast, Vivian, Embercleave. I mean, this is just a terrifying hand. You're scared of Genesis Ultimatum, but this is what I'm scared of.
Yeah, that would make sense. So I think our little fiery friend is gonna get stomped. Or maybe not.
It looks like Rebecca maybe looking for the lands that she needs to get this, at least get to that shatter.
When you have a Shatter Skull Smashing in your hand, and there's 2 1/1s in play, you're just like so tempted to get the value. You're like, yeah, but what about the value? and I feel the need for value. I get it.
I'm glad you're coming around to the need for value. I mean, I know, of course, you've always respected it, but yeah.
And this, for what it's worth, this is heads up from Rebecca. Like, it's so awkward if Piper untaps and plays the fetch land, because then that stomp is not active anymore. So I appreciate the heads upness of saying, hey, I have to stomp here. Our land train has ended.
At least there's still a Shatter Skull Smashing for this turn for Rebecca. Yeah. And Skyclave Apparition is available thanks to that Rawgren Trio. Is Skyclave a little bit awkward with the Shatter the Sky?
No, I think you're fine. Like, most of the tokens are not super powerful, though we did see last game, like, the Questing Beast basically was the same. Oh, interesting.
Upkeep, bounce the Lovestruck Beast.
I thought we were gonna Solemn Simulacrum.
So sad robot staying on the bench for at least another turn. This does leave up that stomp as well. And Piper, a few options here. Could just go for a Questing Beast right now.
Yeah, I assume, like, obviously both players have access to the deck list, so there's not permission that we're worried about for 2 mana. Just looking here. So I think Piper's just trying to decide, what does the other turns look like? If I spend 4 mana efficiently on this turn, like, is it better to maybe to try and do like a 1 mana 1/1 with Lovestruck Beast and then the beast? Not sure. But
yeah,
the dream is the cleave on the Questing Beast. It's the dream of all players everywhere. So let's find out if it can happen.
Well, I mean, at least the first attack is going to get through. Rebecca down to 9 and decides not to stomp away that 1/1 just yet. Does not find a land here. Is it shatter time now?
Shatter time. One, two.
And it is going to be shatter time. Get rid of that questing beast. Oh my goodness.
Is it Vivian time?
It's just every single time Rebecca removes all the creatures and it's just questing beast off the top. Vivian, that's gonna make a 3/3. It just really feels like this control deck that Rebecca brought just finds it very hard to keep up with the fact that Gruul aggro not only can kill you quickly, but has these value engines like Vivian, like the Great Henge that can push through into the late game.
Speaking of late game, we are mighty close to lethal. We know we're not drawing an untapped land because so we're not at lethal, but it's pretty
close.
Oh, wait. Hold on. What? Okay. What? Oh, no, it's 9. Damn, that would have been really cool. So technically, Questing Beast, like Vivian could minus when we cast Questing Beast, and we could go get a Brush Fire Elemental. But that was only 8 damage. And we know of the Stomp, so that wasn't going to work, but I love finding those lines, so I was just looking at them.
This Vivian, she in the first part of the standard format, she was only kind of really seeing play in a few sideboards, but after all the bannings and all the upheavals and all that.
Yes, there was another 5-mana green planeswalker that was, hogging the spotlight a little bit.
Oh my goodness, I've honestly blocked that card out of my memory. And I played that card quite a lot, but oh my goodness.
Yeah, Nissa stole the spotlight. But
persona non grata here on the VML. The number of times we had to say, and is Nissa, she's going to untap a land. Oh
Piper is just really, honestly, was just choosing between the 12 value options that Piper had access to.
So, Questing Beast is going to be delayed by a petty theft. But the beasts keep coming. Piper doesn't miss a beast. Was that a joke?
Did you say doesn't miss a beast?
Yeah.
You're really lucky I was changing the batteries in my headset because I was going to boo that joke.
Okay. Looking pretty dire now. Skyclave Apparition, that is an option for but it doesn't get tokens, right? So it only gets the 1/1.
Yeah, but we know of the Embercleave. This both games just basically came down to the same spots, right?
Maybe Rebecca trying to use Skyclave Apparition, trying to use these mass removal effects to stabilize the board, but this Gruul deck is just putting out so many threats.
Okay, I think we found lethal. Yeah, minus.
The Shatterskull Smashing is that second red source. Yeah, because of the Shatterskull Smashing.
Oh, this is 4 creatures. Yeah, okay.
That is 4 creatures, yeah. So this is going to be more than lethal. Super lethal.
Yeah, I couldn't tell what land that was, but the
doesn't even need the cleave.
Yeah, the super lethal has been called. Yeah, it doesn't even need the cleave, exactly.
That is going to do it. Piper Powell taking that one down 2-0 against Rebecca's spicy Jeskai control list. And, I'm sad to see control go down, of course, but that was a masterful showing from the Gruul deck, really representing why it's been the kind of tried and tested, quote-unquote, best deck of the format until now.
Yep. No, still now. Still now.
Still now.
The best deck.
Continues to be the best deck. All right. Well, just one more match to bring you, but that was a very sweet one from Piper and Rebecca. And Caroline, I just love to see all these, spicy, kind of slightly off the beaten path lists that our players bring. every so often here at the VML.
Thank you. I thought my deck was nice and spicy too. Oh, you meant the
That's
competitive?
why I stole it.
Okay.
That's why I stole it.
My deck's not even my deck. My deck is from the bowels of the internet, as most things are these days, to be fair.
All right, let's head down and look at our final feature match for the evening, all the way from division number 8.
We went full spectrum. We went 1 and 8. I like it.
1 and 8. Jasmine Sunley.
You
Jasmine
would bought this deck.
Look, I can't help myself. All right, it's just so I just love it so much. There's so many rogues in it.
Did both divisions that you pick from have rogue lists?
I mean, they're not rogue lists. They're pretty stock, like pretty standard. But this one from Jasmine Sunny, we asked her why she chose the deck, and she was actually on Gruul before, I believe. And then they said they'd been practicing with rogues and just decided to switch it up for this week. And yeah, this is pretty much what we're expecting out of these rogue lists. I like Blood Chief Thus in the main. I'm really a big fan of Blood Chief Thus right now, in particular.
I've taken it back. I know why you picked this list.
Yeah,
it's because
it's coming up.
No, it's because Jasmine has a picture of a cat in their profile.
Oh, that's so cute. I actually messaged Jasmine earlier saying this cat is so cute, and she messaged me back a picture of her cat, like sleeping in like a deck box, like in one of those long like cube deck boxes.
Wait, we need. Okay, next time we're on, we need that camera. We need that picture on screen.
Okay, well, it's so cute. All right, let's have a look at Jasmine's opponent. You'll see why I picked this matchup. Coming up, this is Ginger Snap, Jen Simon.
Right.
Is it controller? Is it control, Caroline?
No. I think it's combo. I don't know.
I mean, this deck has a little bit of everything. 2 Midnight Clocks, 3 Cura Best the Sea God.
Sorry, what?
And if you haven't seen this card since Theros Beyond Death Limited, I don't blame you. It's still legal. The 7-mana saga that chapter 1 makes an 8/8 with hexproof. Chapter 2, I believe it taps or steals. No. It does something to mess with your opponent, and then you win, basically.
That's the words on the card.
It's Cura Best the Sea God, best high use memory. But yeah, this deck has everything: Bone Crusher Giant, Jawari, 4 Jawari Disruption, Maze Mind Tome Rewind. What more could you want in all of Magic? 1 spicy copy of Into the Royal.
I think in my next production meeting, we need to talk about who's picking deck lists. Just unrelated to this conversation.
Wow.
I'm just going to write a note to myself. Just 1 second. Just don't let Hayu pick blue cards.
Let's go down to the map and see what happens here between these 2 blue lists that feature counter spells. I didn't definitely.
Oh, but they feature very nice lands. I love the style.
Oh my god. That
I'm
is so nice. Both players with nice hands. Murphy Windrobber, double Thieves Gold Enforcer, Drown in the Lot, going up against Negate Fire Prophecy and Bone Crusher Giant. Oof. I'm just still recovering from the fact that I didn't tell you what these lists were going to be before.
I mean, it is my fault for not looking, but I'm trying to decide. So, like, the Rogues player, in my opinion, has the creature side of things, right? Like the many rogues and not a lot of like into the stories and other things, but they are playing against a deck that has options of removal spells, which we're about to see. So that's not necessarily going to work out well for them, but the Lurrus could maybe play into that depending on how long we wait. So
it is interesting. As you kind of alluded to this earlier, Caroline, but with Rose, the big question is really kill or mill, right? It's kill or mill. And every game for the Rose player, they have to decide, are they going to kill or are they going to mill?
Sorry, just deciding what my product line would look like. And I think I have one. Kill or mill.
I think it's more like a game show. Kill Mill.
Yeah, it is tough. I will say the rogues deck usually doesn't decide until, a little bit of both has happened. um, so we'll probably see how that goes. The Drown of the Lock draws for Jasmine. I had to follow the names there for Jasmine. Have been pretty good draws because I assume a deck that's trying to do a lot of, waiting around to play a big spell. The Drown in the Lock is likely going to be good against that as long as it can counter that big spell.
We
Kira,
don't have
you got it. It's counterable, right? Or is it uncounterable? Okay.
It's counterable.
Okay. I don't know. It's been a while, so just checking.
We are going to see. I mean, I really want to see how many cards, of course, are in Ginger Snap's graveyard. That's like really the key number for our Rogues player right now. Gonna keep that third copy of Drown in the Lock on top, so plenty of permission in hand, going up against plenty of permission on the other side. Negate Mystical Dispute, Jawari Disruption, and Fire Prophecy. And Ginger Snap being very patient with his Bonecrusher Giant, not developing that out just yet.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a pretty wait and see kind of matchup, I imagine.
My favorite.
Really? There was no way of knowing. At least Jasmine's attacking, giving me some combat. I'm fine. I'm happy. There's some combat going on. I'll be okay.
Jasmine's attacking for 1 every turn. That's 1 damage and 1 mil. Some kill, some mill.
Some kill, some mill.
Okay, so we have an answer on the graveyard, which is at least 8. And that's really the threshold.
That is a good answer, actually. Yeah. Oh, speaking of at least 8. Nope, that's not what I meant at all. Speaking of getting some stuff back, which we weren't, but here's Luris. And we could play it. I don't know.
Decides to go and try and play out this not quite ancestral recall this turn. Mystical Dispute going to actually just take care of it straight away. Ginger Snap, we saw so many expensive cards. Well, not so many, but some number of expensive finishers in the deck for Ginger Snap. And still kind of a little bit far away from that, at least in terms of mana production.
That Drown in the Lock saved somewhere around 4 life because it could have killed the Bonecrusher Giant, but it would have dealt 2 more damage. And it didn't do the stomp. So it saved potentially 4 life, which I kind of love.
Midnight Clock. This one, if you're the Rogues player and your opponent plays a Midnight Clock and you don't have pressure out, Ginger Snap actually decides not to go for the Midnight Clock. Very interesting.
Yeah, this Luris is clearly on Ginger Snap's mind, but unfortunately, decent amount of mana to work with, so it's not going to. It might slow us down. I don't really recall our graveyard super well, but
interesting. Ginger Snap gonna try and at least tax the mana here with this Jawari Disruption. Jasmine's gonna have to pay 1. But then Luris resolves, and Ginger Snap is left with Negate in hand.
And then so what are we getting back? What's the value we'd like today? Hayu? Would you like a 1/1 that kills, mills, draws a card, does it all? Or do you want this 3/2 that also mills and kills and does it all?
Well, it kills more.
It does.
It kills more.
No, is that true? It mills a lot more. Like, it's a huge part of the mill condition.
It is a huge part of the mill condition, but
now
the mill requires you to draw more rogues. Although I guess with Luris out.
Oh,
into the story.
All is well that ends well when you go into the story.
Gonna open up the pages, just like step onto the words.
How crazy is it to consider killing the Bonecrusher Giant? We gain the life back, so that's not an issue. Ginger Snap's at 5 mana. We know that Kiora is like a large number of mana, not 5. Like,
well, the thing is, with Midnight Clock out on the battlefield, I think for Jasmine,
right,
the mill plan is dying.
Right.
Just much less likely you're going to get to mill.
Well, I forgot that Midnight Clock is actually just anti-mill. It's really funny.
Yeah, it's super anti-mill. Like when that shuffle effect, like it's you're not gonna mill them with Midnight Clock out. So it's interesting to see that Jasmine, I think, realizing that getting these 3-power creatures out on the battlefield, and this is a 2-9 clock on its own.
Yeah, and we have a counterspell in our hand. Potentially be able to protect us. I have to admit, I'm back in this boat where I'm just like, but into the story. I'm just saying it was a 2-turn clock even without the other Thieves' Curled Enforcer. So where's my into the story?
It was. You'll get your into the story, Caroline.
Will I?
It'll come.
Okay.
So looks like it's going to be the attack first. And are there shark typings in the deck?
I don't know, but there's a Crawling Barrens in play. So that's a heads up. Heads up.
There is a Drown in the Lock in hand, though, for Jasmine. So
if
that Crawling Baron
I'm considering whether or not this Wind Robber would have been better pre-combat or not. But if the mill plan is really out the door, then it doesn't matter. So wait, what? Why did that only cost? Oh my gosh, Midnight Clock makes a mana. I was like, what's happening? There's only 3 lands tapped. Midnight Clock really does it all,
It really does it all. And it looks like Jasmine's actually pretty happy to let the Thieves Guild Enforcer make a trade here. Fire Prophecy going to attempt to target Lurrus. And Jasmine, so patient with that final counterspell in hand, is going to use it now.
One of which that she scryed on top after already having 2 in hand. So patience was definitely had by Jasmine.
And here's your into the story.
Yay!
That finds the untapped black source to be able to replay this Thieves Guild Enforcer from the graveyard. And that is exactly 9 power on the battlefield for Jasmine Sunday. So Ginger Snap really needs to find something now. Riverglide Pathway is not going to do it. And that is going to be game number 1, going to Dimir Rogues in the hands of Jasmine Sunday. And Caroline, I really appreciated the way that Jasmine, had that kill or mill dynamic in mind and switched gears at the drop of a hat.
Well, a drop of a Midnight Clock, to be honest, but yes, definitely heads up and aware for sure. So trying to look for sideboarding. I have to admit that this is. Oh, we just have different overlays. Okay, cool. I was trying to decide. It looked like Jasmine was like siding very deliberately, which I was pretty impressed about. Kind of showed really understanding, like, okay, I think I know what I need to do in this matchup. I have absolutely no idea what that is, but it is very impressive to see the deliberate, like, yep, this is what I'm going to sideboard.
Yeah, and our players do, because you have a week to play your match and you can arrange it with your opponent, you do get to have a couple of days to really test out your matchup. And it's the only match you're playing that week, so it really gives our players the opportunity to learn what's going on in the ins and outs, even when your opponent brings something a little bit left field like Ginger Snap has done. Someone might come out, see Scatter come out, Long Mage's Domination, that doesn't have very many targets in the deck at all.
These of
so it is nice to have every so often.
Everybody takes them out. Nobody has respect for them.
It's because it's just a divination.
No, it's not. Ancestral Recall. Didn't you get the memo? Okay, Caroline is passionate about some things. Just don't worry.
I'm really happy to hear you're passionate about a blue card, I have to say. It's a really nice development. And let's have a look at Ginger Snap's sideboard. Thinking about these Midnight Clocks, thinking about taking out. Oh no.
I think we sided up. Maybe.
Yeah, I think there was some number of them. There's two in the side and two in the mid. So
Yeah,
they actually one of them's coming in.
Yeah,
So it's
siding
gonna
up.
be
Or up to 3. Oh yeah, the Maze Mind Tome seems kind of slow. Mind you, they're kind of good against rogues though if they don't have the creature plan. Oh, it's so tough. Magic's hard.
Magic is hard. It's interesting because Maze Mind Tome, like it is so. And if they go Thieves Guild Enforcer, you just die. But the fact that you can hold up mana against rogues is also very powerful. So interesting.
I do like how Ginger Snap is ready to go. Like there was a mountain ready and turn 2 land is ready. Like I like it. They're ready to get this game going. Kind of shows it just shows like your thought process. Like, okay, I know what I'm gonna do on this turn and I'm ready to do it. So
Valakut Awakening in hand. I want to see a Valakut's Awakening get cast. Caroline, the other day I saw somebody play a deck that had Ominous Seas, the enchantment that like makes a 8/8 if you get.
Beat me with that deck in the CFB showdown.
Oh no!
In round 1. Oh, no. I was so sad. It was good though.
Thorin thought they were coming down, but Ginger Snap has the Fire Prophecy ready to get rid of this threat.
Okay. I thought you weren't going to see your prophecy. I thought Valakut Awakening was getting put on the bottom. I was nervous for you, but you're okay.
Oh, I'm okay. Thank you though for looking out for me. I appreciate it.
Can we get a crab? Like, come on! Look at these Fable passages.
I know. Where are my little pinchy friends? Caroline, the other day I was casting with our teammate Nick, and he stole my pincer movement joke. I once made a really good joke about having 2 crabs out on the battlefield and how it was a pincer movement, and Nick just straight up stole it. It was really mean.
I mean, I guess it's the
like right out of VML stream.
What is Ginger Snap up to this turn? Are we gonna get aggro? I like it.
Oh, there's the crab!
Hey, better late than never.
Oh, and with 3 fabled passages to follow up as well. The cards are going in the graveyard. But, Ginger Snap did side in these Phoenixes, and they, with that escape cost, just love to see cards in the graveyard. There's only so many times you can hold back a Phoenix of Ash with the spot removal.
Right, and Heartless Act being our spot removal of choice doesn't get many goes at it. We do have a Drown the Lock though, so we got some time. The Phoenix can technically mess with the Drown the Lock, but luckily we do have this crab for a little while, so it probably won't be an issue.
I want to see some. Yeah. So this is so each Fable passage is 6, right? So 3 Fable passages is 18.
I love the idea of just hoping we draw another crab. I'm here for it.
Great.
And I wonder if we're going to play Luris. Do we even have anything? I guess we probably do, right?
I think there's a Soaring Thought Thief that was killed by a Fire Prophecy earlier on.
Yeah, so we got action.
Into the Story Now live as well.
How interesting would it be if Jasmine game 1 kills with combat damage and game 2 kills with mill damage? It's pretty funny to me. The deck can just do whatever it wants.
It's such a great deck. I love Reg so much.
But I want to see Akira best the Sea God. I assume that's what Ginger Snap is living the dream to do. I want to see it. Oh,
I also want to see Valakut Awakening. So here's one of my wishes coming true.
No, it doesn't wish for the sideboard.
Oh my goodness. Get out. Is that Cinderclasm?
It is Cinderclasm. It's a pretty good sideboard card against rogues. I'm not gonna lie. It's a decent one.
Yes, nice. Loris is going to resolve though, and that Soaring Thought Thief is going to come back to haunt the skies once.
Oh, I think that's a 30, so we're halfway there.
Okay. But this Cinderclasm is, now that Jasmine has tapped out, I mean, maybe this is the new tech that nobody knows about yet.
Well, it only does 2 damage, right?
Oh, it doesn't do 3 damage if you kick it?
No, I think it does 1 and 2 if it kicked. 2 if it's kicked. So we'll take care of the Luris, but so will the Fire Prophecy. And I don't really think we're on the damage game.
It definitely seems to be more mill than kill right now.
Yeah, I think the only thing we're dodging is the midnight clocks.
There is a Drown in the Lock to counter at least 1 midnight clock currently.
Yeah, not if it came down this turn, but yeah. Oh, okay.
So,
we're going to get rid of the crab? Are we going to show the most respect the crab has ever earned in the history of ever?
The crab is, I have to say, gets... Oh, just going to be get rid of the... Oh my goodness.
No.
Oh my goodness. Have red souls that Spikefield Hazard would be able to... Oh no.
Poor Spikefield Hazard.
Okay, but there is a Bone Crusher Giant on top, so potentially we can... The agenda could string together like a Stomp and Spikefield Hazard. The way is clear. Into the story we go.
Yeah, but the issue is that if we play land, that Bone Crusher Giant is no longer on top. So, like now.
Get in with the crab. I love getting in with the crab.
You would. I would too, actually. I attacked with many Boreal Grazers in my day. Oh, there we go. Now we can deal with the crab. Oh, you didn't play fetch them? Man.
This Phoenix rising up out of the graveyard. And Jasmine thinking about potentially the counter spell here. I'm going to take the damage for now. Still sitting at a healthy 13 after this attack.
Yeah. Hello?
Oh, second crab.
Wow, this Fabled Hazard is looking genius now.
Did you get a count on the library?
The last I've seen is 30. I'm like, oh gosh, it's so hard. There's
16 in the graveyard. I can see that.
Maybe it was like maybe higher than 30 before. Okay, yeah, we're falling under 30 now. Somewhere around the mid-20s.
Well, from the Fabled Passage.
Yeah, I think because we have a couple different ways to kill the Phoenix as well. Oh, hold the phone. Hold the phone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, this is going to work out for Jazz. Never mind. I guess Jasmine can also decide if they can mill in 12 turns or 12 clocks.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I think they've decided that that's what they're up to.
And this actually leaves Ginger Snap with an interesting decision, because if they negate this Drown in the Lock, they don't actually have the mana to Soul Sear one of the crabs this time.
Right. And I think that favors Jasmine, because Jasmine is only forced to dispute it, when there's a threat. Like, she's driving with the Drown in the Lock. So okay. And then it makes sense that Ginger Snap. I'm not sure when they want a Soul Seer, if they want a Soul Seer. They have to decide soon, though. Okay.
It's not going to be just yet. And Soul Seer does not exile, right? It just puts it in the graveyard.
I think it just like stops it from being indestructible. I wonder how much our Awakening can get back. Like, how many rogues is in the graveyard?
There's
We're under
at
20. We're
least
sub 20 for sure.
there's at least a 2-drop. Wow,
There's
gonna
also
play the rogue.
Lurrus too.
It's Lurrus as well. Okay, so it's gonna be just the Lurrus and the Soaring Thought Thief. I wonder if this will prompt the negate.
I think
out of Gender
so.
Snap.
Give your...
That is not going to work out well for her, as Mystical Dispute ready and waiting in Jasmine's hand.
I think you have to dispute here because, like, I don't know what else you're really disputing. Like, oh, I guess exactly Kiera Best of Sea God.
Right, but at this point, does Kiera even win?
No, and I think it's 8 mana, right? Or is it 7?
It's 7, but...
Okay. Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
Oh. Just so excited. Now, second Soulseer.
So that does mean that this Lurrus is not going to get out of hand.
But do you get Lurrus, or are you going after crabs?
Oh yeah, you might have to kill the crabs. Well, you can't. You have to kill Lurrus at least once. Like,
okay,
if you just kill a crab, then Lurrus can just bring it back.
And
it's also awkward because at some point you're going to run out of land, so the crabs aren't even good. But I think it's still... I wish I could get a library update. I hope we have a basic left.
Well, it was sub 20, right? So this is going to go down to...
This is probably going to go like around 12, I think.
Yeah, 12-ish.
My guess. Oh, 11? 11. Okay. And then 9 because Soaring Thought Thief.
And then 6 because of the land.
Right. And
Midnight
clock is at
only 3. So the clock, not a factor, as it were.
So I guess we cycle first. Because in case you hit another Thought Thief.
Oh.
Yeah. Or crap. Like, yeah, either or.
Oh. Okay, that's another 2. So that's virtual 4 cards in library. For those that are counting.
It's definitely getting a little close because the Midnight Clock does get, I think it's 3 mana to pump it up.
It is.
So, I mean,
but it's only at 4 right now.
Yeah. Is it 4 or 3? It's impossible 3. To tell. So.
It's impossible to tell, but possibly between 4 and 3. So it looks like unless Gender Snap can deal with both of these creatures right now, that this is going to be the last turn. Midnight Clock, unfortunately, not going to help Phoenix of Ash. That can't kill in this turn. And it looks like Jasmine Sunny with Dimir Rogues is going to get there against this Izzet control list despite the Midnight Clocks.
Yeah. Well, they just came too late, sadly. Came too close to midnight.
The carriage turned back into a pumpkin. Or hasn't turned back into a pumpkin.
Yeah.
Take your pick.
One of those things.
One of those things. Gender Snap knows what's up. Phoenix of Ash.
It's never a good sign when you can see your cards on your deck because you scried them at some point.
That is a bad sign, indeed. Really getting to the dregs at the bottom of the barrel. He's going to Enforcer. That one is going to mill another 2.
So I think there's still a couple cards left. Like, we definitely need a land here, which we have, but
between the attack and the land, I think.
Yes, the attack and the land, I think, is enough. Yeah. Actually, I think just the land. Yeah, just the land is enough.
Just the land. 0 cards in library for Gender Snap. They're going to scoop it up. And we got to see the mill kill this time from Dimir Rogues in the hands of Jasmine.
You know, damage, mill. It protects, it attacks. Wait.
It mills?
Mills?
Wow. Very well played there from both of our players in division number 8. Congratulations to Lazy Spaceship Jasmine Sunny for winning that one. And those are all of our matches for this evening, Caroline. How do you feel about what's going on in the VML, the meta game, the gameplay?
Oh, I love how many decks we have. Like that metagame slide has never looked so, I don't know, like flourishing, robust. I don't know, pick a word. It just like I'm used to the first couple weeks being we were scarred last season. Season 3 was rough, okay? It was like 47 Omnath and 12 not Omnath. Like
honestly, Caroline, every day because it's preview season, every single day I'm like watching Caltime spoilers, and like if any card even has like a whiff of being broken, I'm just like sending it to you, being like, Caroline, is this going to disrupt the season? Is this going to be bad?
I can confirm because there's this one we're like having a conversation about some stuff, like working out some kinks or whatever, and then just an image of a card and underneath a text that says "I'm scared," and it was the green enchantment. That's like somewhere between Fires of Invention and not playable. So I don't know, but it was very like wholesome. You're just like, I'm just nervous. I don't want our league to get destroyed again. Like, please.
I know. I mean, obviously, we have to say props to Wizards. Like, I think this set looks super fun. I'm very excited. My favorite card so far has got to be Jorn, the God of Winter, the Sultai god, which was another candidate.
God? You like the green god?
It's blue and black on the back.
You like the green
it's
god?
Blue and black. It's to me.
Someone clip it. Get it in the clip.
Oh my god.
Let's go.
I mean, have you seen that art though? He is
I've seen the threads discussing his lovely nature.
And he has these ferret friends. Anyway, point is, I'm down for Jon Snow. I'm down for this particular thing, but we are of course nervously keeping an eye on the potential broken cards that we might see in Caltime. All right, well, that is going to do it. That's going to do it. Those are all of our feature matches for the evening. Thank you so much, Caroline, for being awesome, calling me out on my terrible jokes, as always. Thank you.
I'll have my hat next time. I'll get it.
Okay. I'm looking forward to our hat. Before sign off, of course, all of our usual thanks. NRG Series for being our awesome WPN store. Check out the NRG Series tournaments. Thank you to Channel Fireball for providing us with some prize support in the form of the winner is going to get a year subscription to CFP Pro, and the top 8 are going to get a 1 month subscription to CFP Pro. So thank you to Channel Fireball for that. Thank you, of course, the Wizards of the Coast for sponsoring our league, and of course for giving us the invite to Caltime Championships and hopefully ongoing future championships as we develop the VML into the thing that we want it to be, the community, the tournament, the organization that we want it to be. Thank you to our awesome producer Phoebe, who always in the chat, always behind the scenes, always keeping everything going. Really, honestly, the tree that holds up the tree house that is this stream. And thank you, of course, to all of our players and to you, our lovely viewers, for sticking with us on a Friday evening. We will be back next Friday evening, and it's going to be very exciting next week because we have 2 new masters, Caroline.
Yep. I'm very excited. They've actually secretly been here the whole time. They were like spying on you stream. I'm just saying, chat, they were spying on you. And they took all the things they learned and they're going to show us next week. So I'm very excited.
Yeah, so tune in next Friday at the same time, 9 p.m. EST, 6 p.m. PST for Ellie of the Veil and Skybills, our awesome new casting duo. Definitely show them some love, give them a warm welcome to the VML family, and hope to see all of you. I'll be in the chat, of course, hanging out next week. And Caroline, if people want to find you on the internet, get in touch, how can they do so?
You can find me on Twitter at Mighty Linguini, just below me. You can find me on twitch.tv/TheMightyLinguini. I stream on Wednesdays and Saturdays, which is tomorrow. So come check us out. We'll be playing some Among Us.
Oh, that's cool. I might come and be sus with you. tomorrow. And if you want to get in touch with me, I'm at Nefet on Twitter, NIPHETTE, and you can follow me for some very tepid takes on what's going on in Magic and just the world in general. So we will hope to see you next week. Thank you for joining us and have a good one. See you next time.